The fourth key we'll be looking at in this series is learning at home. Team members can employ the voting protocol that you've been using in the previous modules to select a level that best represents your current practice with engaging parents and supporting language and literacy at home. Take the time to have each team member read the aspects that represent each level on the left-hand side of the rubric and select their rating articulated on the right. Reach consensus on where your team or building is on the rubric. It may be helpful to designate a note taker during the powerful discussion opportunity in order to capture all voices. During the discussion, make sure to let all team members have voice and provide evidence and justification for the level each selected as aspects for learning at home were considered. During the discussion, teams may consider how the levels ramp up as more authentic engagement with families are accordioned. Finally, team leaders can utilize the provided coaching questions to facilitate the discussion if needed. Next, have the team consider examples and resources so they can understand where they are now and what they think the team should consider next. Here are some example practices administrators and teachers should consider to improve learning at home opportunities. For administrators, you might consider creating a school team with family input to provide upon current school practices so that all families have meaningful and accessible opportunities to support their child's language and literacy growth at home. For educators, you might decide to communicate grade level standards, expectations, and recognize families for their learning at home activities. Next, review some of the links on this example resource page. Set the timer and have each member review one or two of the resources and then share out how this might support your next steps. Is there a resource that the entire team should take time to review? Which resource or resources would best support your next best step? Discuss what the team action steps should be to support learning at home. Were there local examples and resources to discuss? Did you check out the larger set of examples for learning at home on the example document? Pause the presentation now and take some time to wrap up your review and discussion about existing examples and resources if needed. Now that you've come up with a rating for your learning at home current practice and some examples and resources for the next steps in this key area, you're ready to put your next steps for learning at home on paper. Pause the presentation to complete the first table on page 9 of the rubric for learning at home. Write out your successes and opportunities for growth. Next, you should pause the presentation and discuss what your priorities and action steps would be for the next few months for learning at home, and record them on page 9 of the rubric.